And that's that, and we're going to be continuing with the third game of the match. That is going to be the home map right now of the second one of Austrians. This is going to be the home map of French, and they are going for Arena, which is of course the home map of Edie. So it makes a whole lot of sense that their strongest player will be wanting to play on his favorite map. So let's see what actually French are gonna be playing here, and what Austrians are gonna be preparing against them, because I'm fully certain they would have known what their opponents are gonna pick as a home map, and the civilizations are gonna be here in the 3v3. Spanish, wow, that's a switch. Spanish, Mayans and Aztecs, whereas the opponents are having Spanish, Teutons and Mayans. So Teutons versus Aztecs. Well, Teutons could be considered with the conversion resistance as a bit of a counterplay to Aztecs. But yeah, usually Aztecs are pretty strong on Arena, so that's a brave choice. Brave choice by the Austrians, so they definitely will have something special prepared for this. Yeah, well, let's see around the maps then, in the meantime, as we are looking at some extra deer. And of course, the boar inside the gates of the base for LB10 is having a very nice gold. He's having 2 gold mines, and at the back of his base. So absolutely glory. Wow, 3, sorry. He's having actually 3 gold mines inside his base. Well, thank you very much, map generation. I think LB10 is gonna be happy with this game plan. With this game plan and gameplay and game overall, whereas the opponent is having not such a great luck. He's having one big one, VM in there, inside the base. But otherwise the gold mines are outside, both of them. Going to be trying to lure the ball right now, so we have to delete the wall. And otherwise another gold is at least between him and his teammate Hannibal. So it's not that tragic, they are having some extra golds if they need to. This is going to be fairly easy for them to wall. And it's not bad at all, as the gold is also in the frontish position, so potentially abusable, but probably not all that significantly. Otherwise behind his base nothing, just a stone in good position. Next gold next to his base with extra boar as well, and the last player of their team is going to be Edie, basically kinda in the corner. Well, that's a bit of a funny spawn, but he is also having extra gold mine on the right and having quite safe stone in there. Main gold in the front position, but not really hugging the wall, so that's alright. Basically similar as this, even though this is slightly closer, I think, by 1 square. It's nothing really that major, it's still quite alright. And those stone mines, yeah, well, it seems to be alright. This gold as well, because they could be walling this up from about here, even though it's going to be quite adventurous walling. It could be done. Let's not say that it couldn't, as oh, nice sheep, holding the gate open so that the boar can go through. Ah, well. Nice little microplay there. We are going to be switching into other players, as Liare is going to be facing Edie. This is actually going to be quite fun engagement between them. They are both Mayans, and they are against each other. So who's going to be better? Place your bets, I guess. Yet another gold mine basically safe, even though it's in the front position, it's still safe because there's no easy way to get at it, even with some extra range and whatnot, so it's pretty much fine. So save gold, save stone, and save gold number 2 actually. So this is much better position in here, especially if he was together with his ally, and with which this part of the wood is going to be helping. Wall here, wall there, and you are having a very nice part of the map, which might be also important potentially for trade a bit later in the game, if the game is gonna come back to that. The only one basically from the Austrians who is having unsafe gold in the front, a white plaster to the wall, is going to be Teutonic tanks. That's something that he didn't wish for, but he at least does have one at the back. Even though it's hugged by the trees, it's not that bad. He's still having 2 sides open, and he can quite easily cut through all of this. He's also having one Boru stone behind his base, and the second one is also safe. So this is kind of funny map. Actually, plenty of players are having some advantages and some extra bonuses, but it seems like overall that LB10 is the winner of the lottery with the 3 golds on Arena. And as a Spanish, yeah, well, what can he ask for more? What can he ask for more, as there's another gold in there between him and Teutonic tanks, which is gonna be fairly easily wallable as well. Just place a wall here, or maybe just be adventurous here and there. Well, that would be pretty greedy. But maybe he will have to do it if they are gonna go for some trade from LB10 to the orange. The map is kinda sucky as for trade route as far as LB10, or rather as far as Austria goes, so they definitely have to decide it before that. Because otherwise the trade route for the French from about here all the way across the bases to here is just much better indeed. And yep, that's something to think about as well, because not always is the game decided before the gold runs out. Right now getting some extra release being made still, but we are going to be still waiting for the advances into fuel ages and castle ages, of course, as we are still at just 7 minutes and a half. And we are on arena, so yeah, no early aggression gonna happen at all, as we have seen a deer being pushed right about now by Eliere, and I have also seen some yellow dots. They were probably sheep. Because there's nothing else, as we are looking at the destruction of the walls to get rid of it. Yeah, the extra stone in there is gonna help to replace them at some better place potentially. These were some extra sheep sent by the yellow player, by Hannibal, to his teammate, which is nice thought by him, and probably just basically telling you that they will be fully hoping that the Aztec is going to be the winning condition for the French team. Yeah, well, let's see. The winning condition I would be expecting would be Edie, but they're thinking that VM is also going to be very important with a strong civilization on a map like this. So far I don't really see any kind of notices what could be happening from either side. So far it's all fairly standard, not really any kind of lagging behind in the villages and such. Last one to get 24 is going to be Teutonic Tanks apparently, so he's having some issues with the echo a bit. But probably nothing all that major. Yeah, right now back to 24. And well, we are nearing the 27 and such numbers that are going to be signaling the advances into the next ages. So Liere 700, 25 gonna be 26. He's already having 700, of course. If you late, you need just 500, so it's not like it matters all that much. Right now gonna be clicking at 26. And everybody advancing at 26. That's going to be a flood of fuel ages. A lot of fuel ages from all the players. There's 5 Teutonic Tanks. The very last one is going to be whom? Oh, someone is a bit greedy, VM. And actually Eddie is advancing at just 25. Okay, so the differences are already coming in. Eddie is going to be hoping for that a bit faster upgrade is going to be more advantageous to him. Interesting choice. Interesting choice indeed, as on the other hand VM is going the other way around with 1 extra villager and hoping that actually when he advances it's going to be fine for him as well, that he's gonna be having enough time. But let's say it, those, I don't know, few seconds, like 15-20 seconds or how long actually does it take for a villager to be made, are not making all that much of a difference in the world, to be honest. Especially on a map like this, because of course we are gonna be expecting fights not to happen before everybody is nicely boomed and ready for the shenanigans. Well, a bit of an engagement apparently between Hannibal Scout, as he was trying to fight Liere's Eagle Warrior and Elbiten's Scout as well. Apparently he's gonna receive some help from Eddie. And is somebody have that? No. They seem to be all basically full. They are both full. All of them are full, as right now Eddie is going to be running around as they're just gonna be switching here. And this is actually a nice idea in here. Right now trying to trap him, but there's no way that he could be. But still, Eddie needs to retreat, and right now he's already going to be in pretty big disadvantage, especially since Hannibal is right now coming back, trying to help him. It's gonna be pretty much a disaster right now for French, and those scouts will need to retreat for the rest of their lives, as they are already down in hit points a bit too much to be able to stand a 1v1 even. So we are in. Castle Ages first is going to be for Eddie. That was the reason why he was advancing so fast. To have a bit more optimal build order for his castle, for his fast castle, as Hannibal and Liere are following as well. And let's see what actually Eddie is gonna show us as the arena expert. Going to be switching right now. Oh, hello. That's unexpected on NC mod. Arena with a sling. Alright. So actually Austrians are going to be slinging, right? That's unexpected. That's very unexpected. Into Liere. Oh well. Right now Eddie is going to be facing a pretty tough predicament ahead of himself. Not only is he facing one of the best players today on any map, Liere, he's going to be facing him with a sling in his back. Well. Teutonic Knight is already right now, well, I didn't want to say Teutonic Knight, but LB10, scouting around the enemy base, because of course with his nice economy and overall the layout of his base, he's probably going to be quite comfortable in the castle age as well. Maybe even thinking that he could be dropping an offensive castle, but yeah, I wouldn't really go that far. It's usually better to place it inside your base, because when when your attack backfires, you definitely need the protection on a map like this. And well, already a bit of scouting around, as the area is looking around who is going to be his enemy and who is going to be paying for the insolence of standing against him in the Nations Cup. So good advance by Liere, and basically all of them. Only Teutonic tanks is not going to be advancing, which would be basically a telltale sign for the French that a listening is going on, even though it's fairly unexpected. Fairly unexpected, but yeah, right now. Well, Dragon Tea, this is not France slinging, this is Austria slinging. So, Austria is slinging into Liere. Liere is already coming with all the villages. He's gonna be castle dropping right next to the wall. Oh well. Well, good luck, Eddie. This gold is gonna be costing you. You don't have back? Oh yeah, there. He does. He does, so it's not really that huge of an issue for him. Oh, I was kinda thinking he might be even dropping it right there, but he probably doesn't want to give himself up. Let's switch into Eddie. Yeah, he doesn't know about the castle yet. He doesn't know what... that he's gonna be facing the castle a bit sooner. A bit sooner, actually. Oh, man. Right now, Eddie making very weird moves with the villages. I mean, why is he actually going back? How could he have known that there is castle coming up? He doesn't have the line of sight. Wait a moment. Does he really think that does this really signal? Well, he has no line of sight there, and his other teammate VM also not. Does this really signal that actually there's going to be castle being dropped? Maybe he did figure it out. He is an arena expert after all. But it's kind of interesting decision. But yeah, well, it's of course gonna help him, because if he was continuing with the castle here, he would have been able to finish first. Yeah, I'm thinking that this is basically through his experience that already it is coming up, and because the third castle didn't click from Teutonic tanks, they basically figured that the slink is going to be coming up. So that's very nice map read right about now by Eddie, and he plays the castle a bit faster to the back, because if he didn't, this castle wouldn't have been finished, I'm fairly certain, as this one would be first and some villages would be dying in there. Well, that's going to be mining camp coming right next to the stone. This is definitely welcome help from Liere. From Liere in there, as the castle is gonna get rid of the scouts in there, but that's probably going to be pretty much it, as it's gonna be shootout between the castles, it seems like. Yeah, just castles shooting or not. Is he shooting at the wall? I don't think that he is. But it seems like almost like actually this castle wasn't shooting first. Yeah, you can see that right now the green castle is actually having lower hit points. You can see it's right now 34 and 50. Oh man, this is actually gonna be bad for Liere if he doesn't notice it, but I kinda think that he will, as there's already going a bit of scouting on from LB10, looking around here, but nothing else really. And on the left, it's VM being prepared with the barracks, but that's pretty much it for him, as of course the economy is still going to be growing for Teutonic Knights. Well, not Knights, tanks. As well, of course, right now Liere is going to be waiting for some extra army that he could be getting against his opponent. So Liere with the sling should be always better. Always better than Eddie without sling. Some siege workshop already for basically preparation of the amount of plume touches so that he can target them with some nice mangonel shots. Yeah, right now it seems like that Eddie basically realized that he needs to get rid of the villages, not allow them so freely to gather the stone. And that's a pretty good idea, Decanty, to come for the petards and basically kill the castle as soon as possible. But Eddie doesn't build anything in there. Right now Eddie... yeah, he doesn't do anything at all. He's just right now going battering ram, really? That's a bit of a surprise. It makes sense, but he wants to get rid of this. He wants to get rid of the castle. Ooh, that's gonna be another castle yet again. So yeah, that's not gonna work out for you, Eddie, all that much. But... Imperial Age from Liere. That's the reason why he doesn't have all that many units yet. Because otherwise he should be. And still no counter-slink even going on. So basically right now, French are going to be trying to brave it. And hope that they are going to be surviving this long enough, as apparently Eagle Warriors are already coming on the left side against LB10, who is producing just some scout cavalry. which seems to be signaling that his unit of choice are not going to be conquistadors, but knights, cavaliers and paladins a bit later in the game, as Botkin is being researched for better archers, of course. And so far, well, this is going to be probably where the game is going to be decided. And so far, Eddie is doing some good things, good reading and whatnot, but he's already moving with the villages somewhere else, and I kind of thinking he's gonna need assistance. I don't think that he's gonna be able to stand against 2 castles, because that's just gonna be a bit more production than he can handle himself. Areas on the left, there's not much really happening, just a few. Oh well, a relic is gonna be coming home for LB10, and those scout cavalry guys just gonna be getting rid, hopefully, of a few eagle warriors in there, but that's basically the whole army from blue, and yeah, just booming time right now. The only battle is happening on the right. Yeah, well, looking at the economy, for example, let's move to the right, because that's where the action is happening. First trebuchet is in, and that's gonna mean goodbye castle. So the economies, 63, 51, 57 for French, for the opponents 56, 45, 31. So basically right now, French are booming like mad, but they haven't probably noticed that they're under attack already. Especially on the right, and quite a significant one. So this is going to be up to Eddie to defend himself, and he just cannot. Liere is just too good player for that, to defend against Guy with a sling. I'm just not really seeing the possibility in there. Oh, this is nice quick wall by the gate. That's very nicely placed. Very nicely placed to basically protect the castle, and also partly those gatherers in there. Very nice little play in here. And of course moving forward, the castle is toast. There's no way. There's not even any point in repairing, I'm thinking. It's just going to be a whole lot of wasted resources. I'm at this point pretty certain about that, as villages are in enough numbers to get rid of those veteran rams. So of course, goodbye castle, goodbye rams as well, and well, right now, goodbye Eddie, because he doesn't have any plumed archers as well. He's already basically escaping with everything. You can see he's recognizing, yeah, well, this is game over for me. Let's just go somewhere else and hope that the teammates are gonna help me. And this is a pretty big scratch for the French, because Eddie was the one that was supposed to win the game. He was coming in for his favorite home map, whereas on the left there's not much happening, just basically full-on booming right now by LB10, and so is, unfortunately, for VM, who is not really preparing all that much, even though finally Siege Workshop and some monastery, so a few monks, some extra eagle warriors to help him, and well, let's see if it's going to be effective. Well enough, or not, because right now, of course, Liere is already switching to the left with all the plumed archers, and just going to be cleaning up the base of everything, all the economy, of all the houses that are also quite expensive, because there are plenty of them. So let's not say that it's not significant to lose all that many houses. Well, red going absolutely everywhere in there, as Imperial Ages are clicked in at pretty much the same time for Hannibal, DM and LB10. Well, they somehow got through. Oh, there was a way through for green and he didn't notice it, right? Yeah, there is a way through, of course. Not sure how actually Hannibal missed this, but well, anyway, they just happened. They just happened, with which of course is a pretty big disaster, as there is no defense at all. Right now he's at least trying to probably produce some mangonel, right? I'll be hoping so. Well, apparently not yet. He doesn't have all that many resources, so he probably doesn't want to waste anything. But still, he needs to be preparing himself a lot sooner. Stables are there. Apparently Imperial Age, well, he doesn't need that all that much. He just needs the knights, really. They are going to be strong enough at this stage, I'm thinking. As Liere, even though he is quite nicely slung, I don't think he has all that many upgrades on him. Yeah, he has literally none on the defense. He's having just the attack. +4 though. +4. So that's alright, killing one of the pesky mangonels that was waiting there from Eddie. Has a bit of a problem, and well, deleting the wall, and Exodus is happening. Yellow is gonna be seeing that, but mangonel coming back with the trebuchet and some extra plumed archers still very much present. And where are the green ones? Oh, they are here. Oh well. I'm not sure Eddie is gonna survive with those willies. This is probably not gonna work for him, but we mustn't forget that there's gonna be attempt at actually some aggression right now happening from VM, who is gonna be trying to somehow win the side of his map before Liere is going to be some huge threat on the right side against Hannibal, but I'm not entirely certain it's gonna happen, because look at all those stables, the economy from LB10 and advancing into the Imperial Age at the same time. I'm just not certain it's gonna be working, even through the monks in there, because they are just not in enough numbers. Yeah, they will have to delete the walls in there already. You can see already Liere go in there. Going to be waiting for them. Oh, come on, send the knights. Ah, he's just patrolling there. He was patrolling there for a moment. But unfortunately, he's going to be surprised at the back. But really, nice reading. Nice reading by Liere. He was exactly realizing what's gonna happen when he saw that those villagers are going to be coming that way. But yeah, well, it's not like it's gonna matter. As those trebuchets are going to be getting through all of this in just no time. Housing his opponent, who is at 130. But already at 100 population limit, so if he loses all those houses, he's gonna be housed pretty terribly. And all the army is just now going to be coming into the yellow base. As on the right side, Edie's base is basically toast. Some funny red villages in the middle by Edie. As of course right now there is a push by blue. And that's basically one of the last chances for somehow French to take this game back. Because I don't think even on the right side at the top they're gonna be able to hold. It's looking very well for Liere in there. And it's going to be all up if maybe VM can kill Elbiten soon enough, which is not gonna happen with this castle up. That's just not gonna happen. All right now Elbiten needs to do is just hold. Just hold this position in your base and you're gonna be fine because Liere is gonna do the rest for you. Well, knights with cavalry coming in together with Elbiten as well. Going for absolutely the same build order. And upgrades and whatnot. It's still not going to be strong enough because the Plumed Archers are very strong. They are right now getting all the upgrades in there. They are already elites. +2 in the armor, just missing some last upgrades into there. Ring Archer armor, yeah, well, it's going to be pretty soon researched, and, well, then you're gonna need a whole lot more horses to get rid of this. Right now this is going to be killing the economy quite effectively, if those trebuchets don't stand long enough. Which is going to be yet another big problem, of course, for Hannibal. His inefficient economy, yeah, well, right now, goodbye economy. And goodbye houses, of course, as well. This is a great idea from Liere, exactly as I said a bit before. That if he loses all those houses, it's just going to be just a bit too impossible to even produce enough units and just to replenish the houses as well. Hannibal does have enough wood, you can see 1300, so it's not problem of the resources, but basically just the time and overall the economy downtime that it means for him. So yeah, bit of micro battle in there. That is a nice spot. Oh, well, that is a better spot. Through the castle next to gold. Okay, so that's where he actually wants to get him. So let's check quickly on the left. How's it looking with the battle between VM and LB10? Where LB10 is just now basically waiting for the correct moment to pounce. But the monks are getting up in numbers, and of course, so are the pikemen. So far not really well upgraded, so not really that effective. But the castle being there is still quite a good bonus. And well, those trebuchets is doing damage to everything. But what is important? And what is important is, for example, to get rid of the castle and the enemy trebuchets as well. Yeah, well, goodbye trebuchets flew. That's kind of sad news for him. He has converted about, well, quite a lot of horses actually. He has converted. And the monks are still very much alive, all of them, all 4 of them, so that's a bit of an issue right now for LB10, but really, all he needs to do is just hold, and everything is going to be peachy. So, ever forward moving, as Hannibal is facing right now the might and wrath of Liere under sling. As VM has lost the castle in the front, that was expected of course through the trebuchets in there. It wasn't any kind of surprise all that much. But yeah, this basically a mass of plumed archers. That's always an issue, because when you get the archers in enough numbers, it's always going to be hard, even for the horses. And yeah, right now you can see the GGs coming in, and this is going to be a victory for the Austrians on a home map of French, and a home map that should have been a very strong suit of the French through Edie, as one of the top experts on this map. But well, yeah, they didn't account for the sling into Liere, and the duel against Liere was just a bit too hard for him to handle without the sling himself, so pretty good job. And of course, that means that the Austrians are inching into the lead of 2-1, so let's check the achievements. Liere, well, yeah, of course, Slang, he's gonna get the high score. But without Teutonic tanks, he wouldn't be able to do that. And on the left, LB10 and VM, that was very equal game between those. Very equal game indeed. 10,000 sling, well, that does make a difference. 9,700 into Liere, and it just does count and improves your game quite significantly. You can see Edie didn't even get into the Imperial Age. Good echo by LB10, 97 at the end. Hannibal 105, also not bad. VM 95. This was basically the problem, because The French, they just boomed as if nothing was happening, but they should have been a bit more thinking about helping their teammate and stopping the attack by Liere. But yeah, unfortunately they didn't, and they just weren't strong enough back then, or rather after that. Well, that's always hard to fight against a sling when you react to it late. Well then, GG.